And welcome to Hero Power. This is episode 126, and I'm your host, Avantes. And as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Zeroshio
What's up, gang?
and Versika.
Am I with two grumpy co-hosts tonight? I think I might be. Zeroshio didn't give us the typical. Oh yeah. Well, if you were listening to the pre-show, you heard Avantes grump at me over a show title.
I grumped nothing.
And then Zeroshio doesn't give us the William Shatner one-liner. That's almost as iconic as Avantes counting us in. You guys are throwing me off my game.
Did you even count us in? I don't remember.
Oh, he started at 5.
Oh, did he? Okay.
5, yeah.
You didn't even give him a hard time about it. I'm really starting to doubt whether this show is going to go on tonight.
Well,
it has been one of those
next
days.
Week.
All right, get your act together, guys. Let's go. Come on.
We do have a good show. We got a lot to talk about. No new emails or iTunes reviews this week. So this is the part where you guys haven't heard me harp on it in a while. So, we love to hear from you guys. So please, if you've got any questions about Hearthstone or any questions about the show, send us an email. We love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't left us an iTunes review, as Zeroshio likes to say, podcasts live and breathe on their and thrive on their iTunes reviews. So we would greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review, whatever you feel like, however you feel like we are doing. And we'd love to hear from you there too. Oh,
true. And I want to pitch on our Patreon. If you would like to support the show, obviously the show is always going to be free, but we do have to keep the lights on, the servers going, our website up, and help is done through Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/heropower, you can support us for as little as $1 a month. And we do have the new set coming out, which we're going to talk more about. And as well as a tournament that we'll be doing. I think we've slated that for May, early May is our plan, which is going to be after the new set comes out. And you can win cash prizes for entering our tournament. And you can get a guaranteed spot for $5 a month. And we're also very close to our merchandise goal. So if you would like to support us, please go over to patreon.com/heropower. We have the best patron only Discord that all of our patrons, and especially Mattatarms, are diligently putting information for the new set in there. The minute it drops, he has it updated. So if you want up to the minute updates on anything that is related to the expansion or anything about Hearthstone, definitely should be part of our Discord.
Also, you like he was saying about showing the cards, we've got them all posted. All of our patrons can go and vote on whether they love the card, like the card, hate the card, or plan on dusting the card. And we may give you guys a little sneak peek at that next week as we show you how our patrons are currently voting on all the cards that have currently been released. So join now to get a pre-look at that. And like I said, we may go over that list with you guys next week, show you what the Hero Power community thinks. So, all right.
And you too can have a parade behind you.
That's right.
When you join our patron Discord.
That's right. All you need is a parade. All right.
That's right.
So let's talk news. This week, we had a Hearthside chat with Peter Whalen talking about the new Echo mechanic. And he kind of gave background on how that came to be and how it was originally called Ghostly, which was a really interesting look into Blizzard's kind of design motif, how they come up with these things. So I would highly recommend, if you have not watched it yet, go check it out, because it just gives you some really interesting insight to the behind the scenes of Hearthstone.
And to kind of add to this, and if this seems a little old hat, it did come out a day after our last show, so that's why we're talking about it first. But one thing I'm loving about these designer insights mainly is Peter Whalen. Peter Whalen, anytime he talks about Hearthstone, looks like a giddy child in a candy shop. He just loves the game. He loves designing for it, and he loves telling people all about it. So I really think Peter Whalen's been a great addition to the public dev team. Obviously, he's been with them for a while, but they've recently had him come out and do a lot of the shows, the blogs, and some of the designer insights. And I think he's just refreshing to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I don't really like the term ghostly. I like Echo better, but Derry Alkaline in chat was saying that he wished they had went with Incorporeal. I like that a lot, actually. I think that's a neat mechanic name. I always thought Inspire was a great mechanic name as well. I know we've talked about bringing it back, but it's like the name kind of, it really fit what they were trying to do with using the hero power and how the hero power interacts with the minions on the board. I feel like Echo kind of does that, but Incorporeal would have been, I don't know, a little more flavorful.
Yeah, I like Incorporeal, and I even like the Ghostly, but Echo to me just tells you exactly what it's going to do. It's going to repeat itself and repeat itself and repeat itself, and I kind of like that. I don't know. I sometimes they're hit and miss on some of the flavors. I'm not a fan of Rush, but I like things like Charge and Inspire. But Rush to me just didn't. I'm still getting used to it. I just think I could have used a better vernacular.
Well, a Charge would have been what they used, but yeah, they weren't going to change the mechanic of Charge. So you know, Rush is a decent second option, I think.
I get a kick out of how the card Charge is actually Rush. Now that they've made the changes to Charge.
Well, maybe they'll change the card name.
I doubt it.
You never know. Hey, you could write that in. Maybe that gets you a Tespa card back next time.
Maybe. Well, I got a Tespa card back for asking Cora what she likes to eat while she's playing Hearthstone.
That's right. That's right.
That was my question.
Congratulations to Blue Spartan, by the way, part of the Dad Legend crew, for getting his Tespa card back during the last cast this week. Cheering him on. I saw that come across. I was just like, hey, I know that guy.
Yep. So, all right. We also had this past Monday the Witchwood Reveal stream with, once again, Peter Whalen and Frodan.
Busy guy.
So, I'll be honest with you guys. I have not had a chance to watch this yet.
Really?
No. I've been so busy at work this week. I've not had a chance to check it out, and then come home, and I've been working on other projects. So, so this stream happened this past Monday. They revealed a handful of cards, and this really kind of kicked off the Witchwood Reveal season, as we like to call it. So I'm going to ask this question to you guys since I haven't watched it yet. Did any cards really stand out to you? And since they revealed Hagatha, you know, they teased it in the trailer, but now they've actually revealed it. Do you feel like it's overhyped? Is it on par with what you were hoping for? Versika, let's start with you.
Okay, so I don't like the timing of the release of Hagatha, and the reason why is because we haven't really gotten a feel for what the rest of the set is going to look like. It would have been really nice if Hagatha would have been the crown jewel, sort of that last card revealed, and they just kept teasing stuff the whole time, just making us guess based on what the rest of the set looked like. But I think the problem now is you've released a card. The battle cry is pretty good. The hero power isn't bad. But you don't really know how fast this set's going to be. Hagatha will not work. It will not work in a fast meta. Hagatha's not going to be there. I mean, if you're going to put a card that costs 8, really, with Whispers of the Old Gods, actually with the Year of the Mammoth set rotating out, Shaman's going to be the only one with effective early game removal enough to last that long. But I still think that until we know what Witchwood is going to do, what the rotation and Witchwood in combination, what that's going to do to the meta. I mean, we could be in a 6-turn meta. If that's the case, you're never going to cast Hagatha. If you're not in a 10 to 11 turn meta, Hagatha is not going to have time to make a big enough impact to make it useful, unless you need a 3 damage board clear on turn 8, which really Calamos can do that for you in Elemental, and you're not having to play control to get there. So right now, I feel like if you make me choose, I feel like Hagatha is probably going to be too slow, and that is completely going off what they have done with every expansion release. Every expansion releases fast and tends to slow down. I think Hagatha, well, with the exception of Knights of the Frozen Throne, I think if Hagatha doesn't land in that sort of meta, I think she's too slow. And honestly, I think she's forgotten by the time the next set comes out. If she could become Raza-esque, maybe, and see a resurgence, maybe the second expansion of the year. But honestly, I think if she doesn't land in a slow meta, by the time this meta slows down enough to use her, it'll be hyped for the next meta. When the next expansion's coming out, that expansion's probably going to start fast too. And then you've got two sets of cards. Then maybe we start to see her get played. But unless what I see from Witchwood is a lot more mid-range and control from what I've seen so far, I think she is a card out of place. And that pains me, because as a Shaman player, I really want her to be good. I think she is a good card. I think she is balanced cost for what she brings to the table. But my fear is too slow. I think Thrall worked because he was 5.
Zerosho?
Well, first off, the question was what stood out for this reveal. The one thing that stood out more than anything else was that Frodan's hair matched his Year of the Mammoth shirt, and I was extremely impressed by that. I think he should have wore a Year of the Raven shirt, but they may not be created yet, so I get it. Anyways, on the Hagatha thing, I agree, and of course I disagree. I don't think it really matters how fast or slow the meta is. Shaman has tools to be able to set itself up for a solid control meta or control gameplay in an aggro meta. There's a lot of low-costed board clears. There's lots of taunts and early heals. They can sustain the early and even mid game. Where Shaman tends to fall apart is in the late game, and Hagatha may be that card. But here's the problem with it: is her battle cry is wonderful, but her passive hero power, if you are loading your deck up with spells to deal with, to be a control deck and deal with the board, especially an early board, you're not going to have enough minions in your deck to get a proper balance on what she does. Now, could we end up getting the Echo mechanic and utilizing the Echo mechanic to get more spells? I don't know. We'll have to see how many more Echo cards and how cheap Echo cards are, especially in Shaman. But I don't think it really matters where the meta's at to make her playable, because I think she'll be playable whether it's a control meta or an aggro meta. I think a mid-range meta would be the hardest for her. Well, my question is will she be good? And I don't think, regardless of the meta, I don't think there's a way for her to be good. Her hero power just doesn't lend itself to be synergistic with the type of deck you have to build around her.
All right, so let me tell you what our live chat says. So Daring Alkaline says, feel like Hagatha is too slow. Inked replies, we're already in a 6-turn meta. Paladin, Priest, and Mage can currently kill you by turn 6. Daring says, if Shaman has a 1-cost Echo minion, though, it might help. Apex Predator then chimes in, says, Hagatha is Bay. Okay. Daring Alkaline says, gonna try and fit that square peg in that round hole anyway, because we're gonna see some Hagatha come launch. So,
so here's the thing. Karazhan gave us, as Shaman players, Karazhan gave us Maelstrom Portal. Maelstrom Portal replaced Lightning Storm in the early game because, number one, it gives you a minion. It pairs well with Wrath of Air Totem, and it also pairs well with Blood Mage Thalnos. But it replaced Lightning Storm because there really wasn't room for both. Lightning Storm's drawback was sometimes it does 2, sometimes it does 3, and you get that overload. Well, right now, I don't feel like Shaman can afford the early game overload like it used to be able to. And I feel like Feral Spirit is a better fit in that slot because of Maelstrom Portal's availability. But now you take Maelstrom Portal away, and suddenly that early game board clear is absolutely essential for staying in the game with Paladin and with Hunter and with Zulok. So you've got to have Lightning Storm, and you've got to be able to cast it on 3, 2 if you've got the coin, but most likely you're waiting until 3 and using the coin to help with the overload. Then you have Volcano on 5. So I'm not really as worried about Paladin, Zulok, and Hunter as I am about Mage, because Inked brought up that Mage can kill you on turn 6. Well, that's mostly with things that are harder to get rid of with mass board clears. And for Shaman, that's a problem, because if you're rocking Lightning Storm on 3, waiting for the 4th turn overload, Volcano on 5, waiting for the 6th turn overload, you're not able to deal with the 6th turn double Cabal Crystal Runner if they're still running it. So, actually that's rotating out, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
so we don't have to worry about that. So, okay,
a lot of the Mage tools that will get you a 6-turn win are rotating out of Standard, which is why I'm really surprised we haven't seen more Mage cards revealed yet. And I think Mage is going to be the one class that's going to get the largest power-up boost, because they're getting a lot of things changed. Ice Block's going out of the set, so those style of control decks are going to have to go away. They're already steering Mage towards even cost cards with the even cost mechanic, and that's going to get rid of a lot of your odd cost mechanic. That's going to get rid of a lot of your even cost spells that are instrumental, like Frostbolt, Fireball. They're getting rid of a lot of Mean Streets cards and Karazhan cards that are integral into the way Mage plays right now. So I expect Mage to have the biggest difference in the next couple weeks while we see some more reveals.
But we're probably looking at a slowdown in Mage.
I think so.
Mostly because Crystal Runner, which was sort of that end game for that,
and Medivh's Valet,
and Medivh's Valet, and Medivh himself, if you're running that.
Yeah, and Cabal Lackey isn't that also going out?
I'm pretty sure Cabal Lackey was. Wasn't
Cabal.
That recent?
It's Mean Street Cabal.
Are we sure it was? Okay, maybe it was.
I mean, it's Cabal
Honestly,
with a K.
It
would have to be.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like Cabal Crystal Runner wasn't used until so late in the cycle that I kind of forgot what set it came out in. So, I think really what you're looking for is, well, right now the meta is dominated by wide boards and buffing those minions on the boards and just going face. And no one handles that better than Shaman not right now, but no one will be able to handle it better than Shaman once the rotation happens. So I'm excited about that. I think Shaman will be able to survive longer. So like Zeroshio was saying, I think the control option is where Shaman's going to go. I don't think it can hang in an aggro setting, and I don't think it's going to handle mid-range very well unless there's some really powerful Shaman reveals coming out in that 4 to 5 slot range.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless we start seeing something like that, or a really powerful early Echo card, something in that 2 to 3 that can be cast on 4 and you can get 2 minions, sort of like Sarnat Chain Gang or Feral Spirit. What's going to be important is for Shaman surviving long enough to get the benefit from Healing Rain and Hot Springs Guardian. So I think you're going to see a huge Ungoro presence. And then I think you're not going to see a lot of Knights of the Frozen Throne. And then, honestly, I don't think you're going to see much of Kobolds and Catacombs. I think it's going to be a largely Ungoro and Witchwood and classic themed deck, which could become problematic for Shaman, because one of the things that we're noticing time and time again is that the expansions come out, they're not really kind to Shaman. So a lot of Shaman decks really feature those classic cards, which is something that they targeted with Mage. And now that they've identified that as an issue with Mage, I feel like Shaman's probably next on that list. And so I think Blizzard's really going to start looking at them and saying, okay, so this is really hampering our ability to create new and exciting cards for Shaman. So I'm very fearful for, actually, I think I'm the most fearful for Hex. I think Hex is probably in the limelight, and I'm worried that Hex and Lightning Storm both may be a year where they get looked at. As a Shaman player, Lightning Storm is your friend early.
Yeah. Now, somebody mentioned in chat that if Shaman could get a 1-cost Echo minion, that would be awesome. And I'd love to see a 1-cost Echo minion with Overload 1. And maybe actually including some Overload synergies again. Is the Overload Giant, the Frost Giant or whatever it's called?
Snow Fury Giant.
Snow Fury Giant. I mean, I'd love some way to be able to boost that up. I did see a funny arena, I think it was on one of the Troll Dens, where somebody used the new arena-only spell at 0 cost and does... 12 damage to the whole board, but overload 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it on turn 1 with an empty board, and then it played a 1-cost Snow Fury Giant on turn 1.
Yeah, his opponent conceded on turn 2.
Do you blame him? I mean, come on.
No, his opponent conceded on turn 1 because they had the coin. It wasn't even turn 2.
But honestly, I think, going back to our original point, I think the jury's out on Hagatha until we see the rest of the set, which is why I'm really bummed that they released her so early, because I feel like it may have tainted everyone's looking at her now. I think you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. I think had she come out at the end of the set and had we known what she was coming into, I think we would be able to wrap our heads around what they want us to do with her a little bit better.
Yeah. And like you said, the jury is out on Hagatha, but the executioner is sharpening his axe. But we did see this same and hear this same conversation with Rexar. And some people would say that people were wrong about Rexar not being good because he actually has his place in a lot of Hunter decks, especially Spell Hunter. But at the same time, those people that said he was great, people were saying, well, he's not as great as they thought he was. So maybe she lands in the midway mark. I would classify Rexar out of all the hero cards as being kind of the mid tier, and she might fall in that line. And if so, I think it's a successful card. She by no means is OP as of right now.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to the Year of the Raven celebration, which started yesterday. We talked about this a little bit last week, that now anytime you complete a daily quest, it will reward a random pack. And according to the blog post, it was supposed to be the current 3 sets that are going to be in after rotation. So, however, there were some people reporting yesterday that they were receiving classic packs, including Zeroshio, who actually tweeted out to Blizzard customer service.
Yep, sure did. Basically, I did my 3 quests, and my second pack just happened to be, or might have been my third pack, just happened to be a classic pack. Now, also on that same note, most of the people in our community reported that their second pack, every single one of them that we talked to in the Hero Power Discord, the patron Discord, said that their second pack was a Witchwood pack. So I don't know if that was by design or not. But my third pack was Witchwood. I think everybody I've talked to was. But the first and the third packs varied. Mine just happened to be a classic pack. So I tweeted out to customer service. They said that they have reported it, will look into it, but couldn't promise I would get a response. Today I logged in midway through the day. This morning I didn't see any change. After lunch I logged in and did my Tavern Brawl and 1 quest and had 3 packs in my list, which seemed odd. So I went in, looked at it, and sure enough, they had given me, they didn't replace it, they gave me a Kobolds and Catacomb pack to make up for the classic pack. So there was a forum post that basically it was around 1 p.m. They posted on the customer service forum that they have removed classic packs from the event and are investigating accounts that were affected by the issue. This is both for incorrect packs and for people that had time zone issues in Europe and didn't get their quests with the packs at midnight because, in truth, the server clocks thought it was 11 o'clock. So they didn't actually get those quests until 1. So everybody in Europe, including my European account, got an extra quest today to make up for that. They didn't get extra pack, but they got an extra quest. Now, on my European account, I had also gotten a classic pack, but they didn't give me a new quest for a new pack for it. So if you got a classic pack and haven't gotten a new pack since, you might want to tweet it at Blizzard CS or put in a ticket through the Play Hearthstone site to let them know that you got a classic pack when you should have gotten one of the other 4 sets, and they should fix that and make it right. So far they have with me, but then again I did report it.
All right, cool. So this week's Tavern Brawl is a repeat, but I think it's one of the more fun ones. It's Miniature Warfare, standard only. The pesky Shrinkmeister has turned all your cards into toys. Now all your minions are 1/1 and only cost 1. So, unlike some of the Tavern Brawls we do that are just complete randomonium, this one actually is kind of, I feel like, is more balanced towards the deck building. If you build a really skillful deck, you can do really well in this brawl. And so I love this brawl. I've already won a match with it today and just had a lot of fun with it. It really, rewards people who, play, put Alexstrasza in and hold on to her until late to bust your opponent down half health and then just go to town with other really cool abilities. So go out and have fun with it. Have you guys played it yet?
Yes, I played 1 game and made Q block and made my opponent really angry and won. Q block works. I mean, even though they're 1/1s, you have this constant flood of 1/1s on the board that 1/1 taunts for that matter, and then you have tons of board clear. I put Sergeant Sally in there because she's Sergeant Sally and she's cute, and she clears pretty much everything. My opponent played a Murloc Paladin, no, Murloc Quest Shaman. That's what it was, and I just kept clearing, And then Gul'dan right at the very end, he finally gave up after he's out of cards.
One card that's really powerful in this Tavern Brawl, and I'm just saying this because, we have Alkaline in chat, but the Daring Reporter, guys, gets +1/+1 every turn. So
one card I put in mind, it's the Reveler. It's the 1/1 that you sacrifice a minion to give him +2/+2, and he will come into play as a 3/3. So having a 3/3 on the board when your opponent has nothing but 1/1s, it takes a lot for him to have to clear that out. Another tip is weapons are really strong in this, no matter what kind of weapon, as long as it has one attack and multiple durability, it's a good weapon because it'll clear minions.
Yep.
I cheated. I used my Daring Reporter Jade Druid from UHL Season 1.
Very nice. I actually played a Beast Hunter and just grew my hyenas till they just beat my opponent down. So that was fun. So all right, well, that brings us to this week's deck analysis, and this week's deck is straight from Mattatarms. This is one of the decks he played on his new show.
Which is what, Deck Builder HS?
Deck Builder HS. And I actually watched him play this deck on stream the night he built it, and it's a lot of fun. His opponent was very flustered, I guess would be the word, because he didn't really know what to expect, and it was just a lot of fun to watch it unfold. So this deck he calls Blade of Cthulhu. So it is a Cthulhu rogue, which, we're right at the end of the lifespan of Whispers of the Old Gods. So why not give Cthulhu one last go in this meta? So the deck consists of 2 Backstab, 2 Preparation, 2 Shadow Step, 2 Deadly Poison, 1 Doomerang, King's Bane, 2 Cavern Shiny Finder, 1 Leeching Poison, 2 Sap, 2 Cold Lot Oracle, 1 Blade Flurry, 2 Elven Minstrels, 2 South Sea Squid Face, Captain Greenskin, 2 Vanish, Twin Emperor Veclor, 2 Blade of Cthulhu, Valera the Hollow, and of course, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So the deck plays like a hybrid Kingsbane Rogue traditional Cthulhu deck. That's you can beat them multiple ways.
Yeah.
So
I think the big difference is you don't have the full Cthulhu package. You only have the Blades of Cthulhu. And if you're playing somebody that's more aggro or even mid-range, you're not going to get as much Blade of Cthulhu value as you would a normal Cthulhu package and get your Cthulhu to ridiculous numbers. However, if you're playing against, something like, Big Priest, and can kill rather large minions, or even combo Priest where you can get a minion they've inner fired, your Cthulhu can get really big, and you can throw down Valera the Hollow to set up for your Cthulhu turn, and they don't see Cthulhu coming. Now, mind you, the Blades of Cthulhu kind of are usually a giveaway that you have Cthulhu, but for some reason they may think that they haven't seen any other Cthulhu cards. Why would this be a Cthulhu deck? Which I had a couple games where people were just clearly wowing me and emoting me every time they saw Blade of Cthulhu. I've only played a handful of games with this, and my win rate's not great. Mind you, I was playing against a lot of Hunter. But the big learning curve, and the big reason for playing this deck is we're towards the end of the meta. New sets are coming out. While there are new decks being innovated on, the meta is kind of reaching a point where it's set. So you're seeing a lot of the same decks, which we've already played in the last few weeks. So we wanted to give something a little more unique and fun to play on the Legend ladder.
Yeah, so I was looking at decks for this week's show and going over our episodes and I pulled up the tier list, and we had played every deck on the tier list. So it was like, oh, what do we do? And then I started looking at things that I had been playing, and I was like, there's nothing on here that number one, you're playing on the legend ladder, so I didn't want to bring a deck in that was gonna just like embarrass you up there. So
oh no, it's fun. It's happy fun time now.
Yeah, thanks to Mattatarms for putting together this deck. And I didn't get a chance to play it. Saw the list today while I was at lunch, and so I was theory crafting the whole drive home with how it would work. And I love the addition of the Doomerang, and I think this is one of those decks that a well-placed Vanish is just straight up going to win you the game. I feel like if there is a swing card in this deck where it's important to know when and where to use it, Vanish is the card in this one. So I'm really anxious to see how this works out.
Vanish definitely has key spots to be played here, and especially in the kind of board flood meta we're in now, you can get a lot of value. One other key card in here is Cold Light Oracle. Now, mind you, a lot of people see Cold Light Oracle in Rogue and they think, oh, great, I'm going to burn my opponent's deck, I'm going to mill them. That's not why Cold Light Oracle's in this deck. The Cold Light Oracle is to draw your key pieces that you need in a normal Kingsbane Rogue. One problem I've been running into is I've been drawing my Blades of Cthunes really early, and the Cold Light Oracles help me, continue to draw so I can get the Kingsbane, I can get the Shiny Finders, I can get the Elven Minstrels and the Squid Faces needed to do the normal Kingsbane stuff, and then just kind of surprise them with the Cthulhu. It's a fun deck. It is very draw intensive. If you can manage your draws, it works out really well. And above all else, it's just fun to play.
Cool. All right. Well, that, I believe, is all we have for this week. Do you have any last thoughts before we move into the play portion this week?
I do. We are, I'll make mine quick. We are in the reveal season. There are wonderful resources out there, Hearthstone, HearthstoneSpoilers.com, things like that. However, if you're part of our Discord, make sure you keep it on your phone, keep it handy, because usually within a minute or two of the reveal, our community has not only the photo posted, thanks to Mattatarms, but a long, drawn-out discussion about how the cards can work, can't work, what decks they fit in, what decks they don't fit in, and they deep dive into each card individually. So it's not just a resource to see the cards, it's also a great resource for discussing the cards.
So I wanted to touch a second on the Hero Power Patron League, which we have been working on. And as anyone who has attempted to start a league or currently runs in a league or has been part of a league, there's something to be said for doing it right and making sure that you have all your ducks in a row, which is something that we really wanted to make sure that we have done. So it is taking longer than we initially thought. We had hoped by this point we would already be in season and playing, and it's not worked out that way. But we don't want you guys to think that we have forgotten about it or that we put it on the back burner. We're just making sure that we have everything ready to go for when it's ready, because more than just wanting to do it, we want to make sure that we're doing it right and that we're doing it justice. So we're modifying the schedule for that league just a little bit, and as soon as we have more information on that, we're going to pass it forward. We have some really neat things that we have done for it, and some people have really stepped up and helped us out with some of our peripheral stuff, and we appreciate that. And we'll be reaching out for more help as we get closer to time to implement it. So just be patient with us. It's coming, and it's going to be fun when it gets here. So just hang tight, and know that we're working on it, that it is one of our primary projects outside of the weekly show, and that as soon as it's ready to go and we feel like we can put it out and give it the attention that it needs, we'll put it out there. So it's coming. Just be patient a little bit longer.
We'll hopefully get to share the new league logo with you guys here in the next week or so. We're
very, very, very soon.
Yeah, putting some final touches on it, and trying to get, like Versika said, we want everything to be right for this. So stay tuned. There's more to come.
Just a little inside baseball. The logo is done, but our wonderful artist, and we'll talk more about it when it's revealed, is just doing a little cleanup, making sure that we got it in all the right resolutions and all the Photoshop last-minute stuff you have to do when you're finishing a final product, as well as lots of other products that he has on his plate. So I want to give a big shout-out to he knows who he is. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And when we get the logo, we will announce who it is and give him a public thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, soon, very soon.
All right. So, with all that said, if you're joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we would like to thank you for joining us. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, or if you would like to participate in our patron-only Discord, you can join for as little as $1 a month and get access to all of this information by going to patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power, and then battle cry to use it again.
All righty. Well, while I get logged in here and get set up and ready to play this deck, See Me No More said in chat,
yeah,
we did not mention the Nightmare Amalgam.
Yes, we are going to be doing a little more deep dive in some of the cards. A lot of shows do a full review. We probably won't do that. We'll do individual reviews as we open packs for our various recordings that we put up on our website. However, once we have the majority of the cards, we will start cherry picking out some cards, and I'm pretty sure Nightmare Amalgam will be one of those we talk about.
Yeah. So, all right. Are you ready, Zeroshio?
I am. Are you ready, Avantis?
I am. Let's do this.
Are you ready, Versika? No, he's not ready.
Is anyone ever really ready?
I am looking for an opponent.
You were also ranked 1569 legend, so congratulations.
I sure am. I've been flirting around the 1,000. I was going to plan to make a push, but this is the month of my wife's birthday on the 31st, so I probably will not make a last of the month push for that reason.
It was also a year ago this month you got legend for the first time.
2 years ago.
2 years
this
ago,
month.
okay.
2 years ago was the first time. Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, tape, boss.
So I have Shadow Step, Blade of Cthulhu, and 2 South Sea Squid Faces. I'm thinking about just tossing it all back. The Squid Faces aren't really good without the King's Banes. What do you guys think?
I agree with that. I would throw it all back.
Yep.
Okay.
Ink says, do full set review or we riot.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment on that. We've never done a full set review, and full set reviews take upwards of 3 to 4 hours. And by then, Versika would not only turn into a pumpkin, he would have rotted, the seeds would have grown, and he would turn into a second pumpkin.
So what about this? And this is something we can talk about later, but maybe we could do a special episode on a weekend day where we review the cards.
Maybe.
Prior
That's
to
an idea.
Release.
I'm guessing we pass this turn. There's really nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So, just yeah, we could. If you guys want to do a set review, we could do a set review. Let's just push the show start to 7, and we can run until 10. I'll be okay with that.
But that would be no play portion.
That would be no play portion. It would be a just straight up set review,
Okay.
which I think is fine.
So obvious shiny finder here.
I think so.
Get us right into our. Is there any merit to coining out Kingsbane to set up for deadly poison next turn, or?
I think you coin out Kingsbane to Cold Lot next turn.
That's well, yeah. That I like that. Either way, we're coining out the Kingsbane.
Yeah.
And then holding it. There's no reason to hit face. Depending what he plays, we may want a deadly poison it.
Maybe.
But Cold Light seems like a really good option, especially if he does something like Librarian here. Oh, he just passes on 3 mana. Yeah. This is big priest.
You could actually get him to. No.
So how about this? Let's deadly poison, go face, and hold next turn so we can Cold Light, Shadow Step Cold Light.
Okay.
You like that?
I'm fine with that.
And normally we say don't forget to use your hero power. You do not want to use your hero power in this situation.
No.
I'm not going to swing it face because the damage is inconsequential right now. But this way, next turn we'll get him to draw 4 cards.
So, I was going to say Dustbreaker's coming down, but if you hit him face, maybe he just heals and waits.
You talking about last turn?
Yeah. I was going over the play in my head.
Yeah, I think we clear the Dustbreaker now, though, right?
Yeah, you don't have a choice but to clear the Dustbreaker now.
Are we still going to do the Cold Light play?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we set up for. I would hate to think we wasted 3 damage to not do the Cold Light play.
Yeah. That's good. Now, yeah, we play it, right?
Yeah.
Question is, do we Shadow Step it again?
Well, that depends on whether you want to Shadow Step a blade.
I don't think we need... Shadow Stepping a blade is 5 turns away. And if we Shadow Step it now, we can use it to couple with Elven Minstrel.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with it.
And he burns a Cleric.
I was going to say, I don't think he can cast 2 things this turn anyway, so you're probably going to burn a card off of Oracle and a card on the draw.
I think you're right.
I mean, if he does cast something, it's probably going to be at a time when he doesn't want to cast it.
Exactly. And he really has to... Yeah.
There you go.
We're still going to make him burn at least 1 card.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to punish him.
Now that I think about it, we cannot afford to Elven Minstrel. But we can Cold Light and South Sea Squidface.
Doesn't that...
No, we'll be at 9 cards if we do that.
Right. Just yeah, we definitely need to Squid Face this turn, without a doubt.
Oracle first.
I think I'd Squid Face first. Honestly, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Because we're gonna Squid Face regardless, right?
Are we gonna do both though?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't Oracle.
Okay, because that'll put us at 9 cards, which will be fine. Ooh, Deadly Poison. That will allow us to... We can prep Deadly Poison and clear the Creeper now.
I'm okay with that. I don't hate it.
There's Shadow Visions. That's good. That's a piece of getting the combo. Would really like to get into a Leeching Poison soon. And we might have to put down a Twin Emperor Veclor just to get a taunt up and in the way. Uh-oh. Best he can get is 20, I think.
Can he get there?
2020, I think, but I don't think he can do better than 20.
So say, can he get there without both Shadow Visions? I don't think he can.
If he has all the pieces in his hand already, no, he's not going to be able to get there. There's the Divine Spirit.
He got there.
And the Inner Fire.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get higher than 2020. Oh. Vanish? You need to vanish, right? Backstab's not going to do it.
Oh, that's it.
Trying to think if there's any minions. There's no minions that help us.
No. We don't run Spellbreaker, and we don't run Big Game Hunter.
Non-Veclor. We're 1 mana short of Veclor. Nope, that'll be it. We'll just seppuku into the 2020. And this is a very slow deck. And if they can get you in a position to kill you by turn 7, it makes it tough. But when you're in a slow meta, it's actually not too bad. And despite it being Priest, Combo Priest is more aggressive than people give it credit for.
With Combo Priest, you have to have the combo in hand. If you got the combo in hand, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, turn 6, 2020, what you going to do? So we got Shadow Step, Vanish, Elven Minstrel. Is any of this worth keeping?
Not without the coin.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to toss it all back.
Yeah.
Inked in chat said, hey, look, turn 6. Told you.
You were right, my friend. You were right.
I wasn't arguing we weren't currently in a turn 6 meta. I was hoping that Witchwood would put us in a meta that wasn't turn 6.
We'll see. A lot of your turn 6 tools are leaving the meta. Oh, and we draw on the Kingsbane.
Also, Mattatarms just updated the new release channel and with another new card release about 6 minutes ago. The Coffin Crasher.
Ooh. So since we have Kingsbane, do we just go ahead and equip it and pop the Mistress?
Hold on. What are the? See, I'm yeah. Go ahead and equip the King's Bane and backstab the Mistress. I don't really think
backstab or hit. I think you hit the Mistress.
I don't think you're gonna have another decent backstab target. Do you?
Well, but just go. I mean, you can go ahead and hit it.
I just think with the Shiny Finder in her hand to get it back anyways, the charges aren't really a waste.
I was just thinking of 2 extra damage that you're going to take.
Yeah, I mean, we'll heal 4 of it back, but yeah.
Right. Because against Warlock, that could come in.
Could. Hopefully we get the Leeching Poison and it's not an issue. So I'm going to finish it off. And there really isn't a play here. Just pass, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully next he plays something we can backstab and we can Elven Minstrel. He's not going to. Oh. Yep. Oh, there we can. We backstab Elven Minstrel, right?
I guess. What are we looking for?
Cold Lights. Squid Faces. Those are the 2 that I want to see. Or do we sap this and make him burn a card and take a damage again? He'll burn a card.
I would rather save the sap for
Void Lord
or Cube.
Okay. So backstab at Minstrel?
Yeah, backstab Minstrel. I would assume that if they got to Legend, they're probably not dumb enough to play a Cube naked.
Yeah, probably not. No, I wouldn't think so. And there's a Cold Light Oracle.
I would go ahead and hit him.
Oh, you're thinking hit him because we got the Shining Finder? Yeah, I probably should have. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't like using the saps on anything but Void Lord. Or Cube if he cubes a Void Lord.
It's fair. Of course, I doubt he'll leave a cube sitting out there. Skull and Minari takes away the sap value a little bit.
A little bit. I think Cold Light here, hands down.
Cold Light?
Yeah.
Let's draw into a Shadow Step. No Shadow Step? No Shadow Step.
I think you go ahead and hit him and Shiny Finder.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, you're setting yourself up for Defile, but...
So Shiny Finder?
Yeah.
And then do we go ahead and... Well, we can't play it. Never mind, we're out of mana.
I mean, you set yourself up for Defile, but Cobalt Librarian does that for you anyway.
Yeah. Yep. I don't like that he has the Minari, because sapping is just going to put him right back into play. But if we sap it, it might burn something. No, it won't burn if he has a demon in his hand. So if we sap the Lackey...
Sap the Lackey and then sap the Void Lord, it'll burn the Void Lord.
Oh, yeah. Of course, we will get the taunts. But yeah, that'll burn the Void Lord.
Did we get the taunt?
It'll die. The death rattle will go off.
Okay.
But I mean, that's still fine.
Sap the Lackey first.
Lackey first. It's better than the Lackey dying and it's going off. And then sap the Void Lord.
Yeah.
And it will die. Then we just clear it with that, clear it with the Shiny Finder, and then we Kingsbane poison.
Yep.
Good turn. See, the thing about Minari is it'll put a minion out before it draws, so you won't burn if he has a demon in his hand,
right.
Unfortunately. Wouldn't mind a Vanish. Is he not going to kill it?
No, we've already used both saps.
Yeah.
There's no reason to push it.
Maybe just a Twin Emperor Veclor. He can't kill the cube on the Veclor alone.
He's just going to pack the cube.
Yeah.
We're on turn 7. We really need to activate Veclor or get a Blade. I think you almost just burn a prep here to use Minstrel.
To try to get Blade?
Yeah.
There's a Blade, but we can't play it for 2 turns. Go face with our weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got all the demons in his hand. Oh.
I mean, this is really vanish or die, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if Vanish is going to help us. I think the die option is up. I don't think there's a way for us to do anything.
I mean, we can throw the Twin Emperor out. That buys us
a little
very
bit.
Small amount.
He'll run the no, that's still lethal because he'll run the Carnivorous Cube and the Void Lord into the Emperor, and he'll have 4 Doom Guards.
But right now, he just has to find 1 damage. So,
I mean, that's the play. But he still has lethal.
Yeah.
Because he's got 20 points that's going to get past the taunt if he sees it. Yep, here he sees it. You don't get up into legend rank without seeing that. This is a tough. You got to find the right sweet spot for the deck. Yeah, we sapped the Void Lord. The problem was the Skull of Minari is going to keep bringing it out, so we had to sap it in a way that killed it.
Yep.
All right. 0-2, but it's a fun deck. It's definitely a brain teaser deck. You have to think next level with the deck to get it to work. It's a lot of fun to play though.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely practice, and it's one of those decks where it's different enough that at this stage of the meta, right before the expansion, you keep it fresh. So,
yep.
I mean, I like Kingsbane Rogue. This is just a different take on it.
Yeah, and the thing about the blades is you have to get to turn 9 for them to even be viable. And with Void Lords being cheated out so early, it's really hard to get them with the blades of Cthulhu.
Yeah, they almost have to not get Minari.
Yeah,
it's hard to deal 3rd turn Minari.
A lot of the control Warlock decks have taken Minari out, but some people are putting it back in because they're realizing that it's hard to just rely on the lackeys, especially with silences and polymorphs and stuff.
And almost no one is running real weapon removal. So Minari is going to get a lot of value every time.
I mean, it could be worth putting some weapon removal in this deck. But I don't know if it's worth it for just the Skull of Minari because there's not any other decks that are using weapons consistently enough other than maybe the Paladin decks. But the weapons in the Paladin decks don't hurt you from their damage. They hurt you from the effect off of their battle cries. So that doesn't really help you much there at all.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to pretty much do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't done so already, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button below on YouTube, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. Also, if you are interested in joining our patron-only Discord, you can find out all the details over at patreon.com/heropower. Until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.
Have a great week. Good luck.